Good evening to you all, and thank you all for coming. It makes a wonderful change for me to say thank you for coming at the beginning rather than at the end. This evening I'm going to talk to you about the various people, ladies and gentlemen, that frequent brothels. So obviously, as you will understand, we will not be having any photographic evidence of that, so this is going to be the only picture of me in a different look that we're going to be seeing. And over that last sort of 20 years, I have noticed a really big difference in the people who are becoming involved in the industry, be it clients or ladies. Now, I actually sold my brothels, Madam Becky's, as you can see, in September '09. I sort of really did have to get out of the UK. I wasn't arrested, but I just had one too many run-ins with the authorities, and it was getting very close. So I got out of the business in September 2009, ran off to France, lived in a field and made pickles for a while, while I sort of thought about my memoirs and started writing my book. I've only been involved with middle-class prostitution, kind of bit provincial, to be honest. So I have really very little knowledge or understanding of street work. So you don't ask me anything about that because I haven't got a clue, not in these shoes anyway. So, but everything I've done has been that kind of leafy Buckinghamshire kind of thing. So there's been a long walk between customers out there, I can tell you that. From Amersham to Aylesbury. Years ago, if a client phoned up and he asked for two ladies together, that was so rude. And we'd all blush and we'd go, oh my God. And you couldn't get two ladies to work together, and it was really expensive. And that whole kind of like girl-on-girl thing, as it's called in the industry, just didn't happen. Or if it did, it was going to cost you a fortune. Nowadays, just before we shut Madam Becky's, we used to have a pick and mix service. I kid you not. I have a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old daughter. They know more than I do. You know, I thought I'd seen it all. And to me, it's really quite shocking. We're entering a time now where to be a student is incredibly expensive and incredibly difficult. Last research that has just been done was showing that 1 in 3 lap dancers are students, and an awful large number of our ladies were students paying their way through university. But I suppose, you know, it makes sense really that if you look at the tabloids these days and you see situations, and you know, my kids are reading these newspapers, well hopefully not, but they do unfortunately, and you see that a girl can sleep with a footballer and earn £3,000–4,000 for a night. Well, I mean, most girls of my children's friends will sleep with footballers for a cheese sandwich. So if you're going to get to sleep with a footballer and you're going to get £4,000, I mean, it's a no-brainer, isn't it, really? I'd rather the cheese sandwich. Over the years, the customers have changed so much because the guys are obviously seeing the same things as the girls. And in the good old days, customers tended to be, in all honesty, sort of middle-aged, sort of middle management and above gentlemen who had sort of spare money to spend these few £100s on a lady. And it was, certainly in my industry, a much more sort of gentle times. Now, the customers are everybody from 18 upwards. So it's completely normal working in a sort of a fairly large brothel to have large gangs of guys coming in as part of a night out. And now, I mean, let's say even in sort of Milton Keynes, where I'm from, and the other sort of regions of Buckinghamshire, if a group of lads are going out on a night out, they'll quite often go for a curry, go for a drink, then go to a nightclub and come and visit a prostitute either before the nightclub or after the nightclub. And I spoke to one gentleman one day. I mean, I think actually he'd just come in for football training and was still in his shorts and his socks. And you know, I said to him, you know, what is it with you gangs of lads? And he said, well, we can have sex now for 20 minutes for 40 quid. Now we're quite a smart place, and that, you know, that's the going rate. And you can get it cheaper, but, you know, not with a cup of tea and a ginger nut. So, full sex, 40 quid for 20 minutes. So he said to me, we don't go out now to the pubs and spend all our money getting pissed. We get pissed before we go out, so we've got pissed for sort of, you know, 5 quid with some lager. So we've saved that money, so we can go and spend it on 20 minutes with a prostitute. And I've said, well, you know, that's 19 minutes more than you need, isn't it? We had to agree, but that was our lowest price. And it's been really remarkable how where men were previously really not happy to be seen going into a brothel, now they all come in groups. And very, very rarely, but at Madame Becky's, we were one of the only places that had gay males as well as ladies. And we would have groups of guys come in, and one of them would go off with a boy, the rest of them would go off with a girl, and then quite often they'd all swap around. So again, you know, with the guys, they're all sort of mixing and matching, as it were. And also a customer's expectations. Where I said to you previously an hour would cost £200, and that would be your basic price. Nowadays an hour can be around about 80 to 100, again in quite smart middle class kind of parlours. And customers are really picky. There are big websites out there dedicated to punters and to working girls, where the punter community discuss different ladies and different experiences. The ladies get involved and discuss things with the customers, and customers expect quality and value for money. So you have to wait for the book, but I believe it's going to be called Call Me Madam. It'll be out eventually when I feel like being funny again. So thank you very, very much for your time. I will be doing questions, so if anybody's got anything they want to ask me, feel free.